Okay, guys, let's continue reading. We're reading out of our new book, Sylvia Brown, Soul's Perfection. Okay, so we left off. I already read this in the last part, so I'm going to read it again. Survive life, serve many times that everyone is supposed to serve God. Even in my life, we were told to serve the gods. As a small child, I used to wonder, how do I serve God? The answer: you serve God by serving his people. You reach God in many forms and many facets by serving people. If you just serve yourself, you are gaining nothing spiritually. This has nothing to do with loving yourself. You'll find the love of yourself if you love other people. However, if you just serve yourself and express your love for God, that's not enough. It's much better if you do more than speak it. Instead, go about your daily work giving, caring, and spreading your truth and your spirituality, whatever that may be to you. At least in this way, your God center touches other people. If you don't serve God by serving other people on this earth, that is not so much an atrocity. Hello, there we go. It is very easy because of the way the world is to say, I can't be bothered. I want to crawl back on the hole, let them all be whatever they are going to be. It's not my problem. If nothing else, is not to save the dark entities, but because you can't save them, for certainly save the white entities who are beginning to despair. It's not that they're weak, but the darkness has a way of making despair come into the minds of white entities. It seems like such an endless task, but it's not. What you're trying to do is to keep your army together so they don't freeze or falter or bum up or whatever. People ask, but don't you want to save the dark entities as well? You cannot save the dark, God will. Maybe you can save the gray. You want to be a light in the world. Um, I think if God wanted us to save the dark entities, that would be like casting out demons in the name of Jesus. But um, I believe like he would tell you to pray, like pray in a group to try to, uh, you know, 10 of Wands. The gray entities are experiencing nothing but meanness and negativity. All they're doing is feeding negative energy back into the world. What good is that? I'm sure that God's concept of experiencing through us includes that, but certainly no goodness is being created. So the meaning of life is service. The perfection of your soul is a service. And so many times without any applause, if you come into life and expect applause, you're going to be terribly upset. Your only kudos, as Sylvia calls them, are what you give to God and what God knows you give, and those truths are between you and God alone. 10 of Wands. The 10? I think 10 is completion. No? 10 is completion, yes. So was it the Wands? Was it reversed? These two represents the strength and will have to carry a heavy burden, whether this is the joyful responsibility of raising children, the slack of coworkers, or the demands of your own business. This card symbolizes the ultimate test of your willpower and passion. It is the fulfillment of their assertiveness begun with the ace. In reverse, this card suggests that the burden you bear isn't appropriate, or that it has become too heavy and unmanageable to be viable. Lighten your load. Um, okay. Lighten your load. Lighten your load. By getting rid of the dark entities yourself. Let's see. Where were we? Don't expect the world to eulogize you in lights. Eulogize you in lights, as you have seen with Sylvia. If that's what you're looking for, then you should know that they can't make you a saint one day and a Harlow the next. The Hierophant of reverse. Harlow. Harlot the next. That's all you can ever expect in this life. So maybe you deal with ex-husbands, people who are prejudiced against you, and people who hurt you. You only answer to God. Who knows where your heart is? He knows. Who knows? Okay. Only answer to God, who knows where your heart is. When you keep repeating that to yourself, then your strength increases a millionfold. Your name may not be in lights here, but your name is certainly in God's lights. Yeah, you may not be famous here on earth, but in the spiritual realm, that's why you should never know when to mess with people, especially if somebody's good. Can't be messing with good people, because consequences are very destructive. The Hierophant. The world is the last one, okay? And the Hierophant is between the Hangman. Oh no, I'm wrong. Okay, the Hierophant in reverse. I am merely seeking approval, not genuine knowledge. People aren't going to understand my action or choice. I am one of society's outcasts, and as such, have a unique perspective. I can choose to embrace this position to come from. All societies, traditions, and cultures have a guiding authority in addition to a governing authority, be it a priest, shaman, or philosopher. The Hierophant guides behavior that doesn't necessarily fall under the law, usually pertaining to morality and matters that are perceived as good for society at large. He represents an external conscience, the all seeing eye of society, that controls the actions of individuals. This is about letting the opinion of others guide your behavior, regardless of whether this tallies with your personal sense of right and wrong. The Hierophant compares easily to Big Brother in the political or social arena. Okay, getting cold. Let's see. Seeing the light. You're here to perfect your specific life theme. In each life, you can pick a different theme or you can keep the same one, especially if you think you haven't experienced it well enough. In your past life, most of you will touch on all the themes: tolerance, experiencer, and all the rest. You ask, where do I fit, God? I've gone through so many. That really is it. If you look very carefully, you'll see that you always have one main life issue that confronts you. You have a lot of them if this is your last life. You'll constantly have difficulties put upon you, but be aware and do a self audit. In other words, say, wait a minute, I'm learning patience. Is this tolerance? Is this experiencer? Have I now become a pawn? Have I now become a catalyst in this position? Those are the things, the meaning of perfecting your soul that you have to go through. It seems so meticulously analytical, which it is because you're so carefully planned all of it out. I think that each day spent without some kind of audit of yourself is a day lost. Was there one good thing that I did? Did I help someone with something spiritual? Can be as small as reaching over and grabbing someone's hand. But when you get up in the morning, make up your mind that on that day, you're going to send energy to someone. You might even send a prayer out to a homeless person. You may give someone a sandwich. You may just call a person on the phone. You might talk to a client you're dealing with and give them a warm word. A day without doing something for someone else is a day lost. Okay, I must go make lunch. I love you guys. I hope that was helpful. I love my new book. I'm feeling more satisfied. I really get bored easily, and repetitiveness is something I don't like. And being consistent, but consistency with repetitiveness gets boring. So, new books, new more wisdom, and I'm happy to share with you guys. I hope you watch the videos to the end. Don't forget to give me a heart. Love you guys. Bye.